the growing understanding of a movement called FBA.
Okay.
Pan-Africanism and FBA. How do they contrast or complement one another?
Okay. Well, first of all, Pan-Africanism is the black man's oldest formal political ideology. We gave birth to the first free, independent black nation in the world, Haiti, right? Pan-Africanists are some of your greatest black leaders, your greatest black organizers. If you're looking at achievements, nobody compares to Pan-Africanists. Nobody. Hebrews, Moors, Nawapians, Gods and Earths, Nation of Islam, I love them all. Nobody compares to Pan-Africanism. If you want to go achievement for achievement, you can put all them together. You don't touch us.
Umar says Pan-Africans are the best. No one is touching them. He said they have more achievements than other melanated people. Will somebody please go check on Umar? Yeah, go check on Umar and see what's going on.
Okay, and I say that respectfully, but it's the truth. Okay. ADOSFBA, respectfully, I'm going to go with both groups because they represent basically the same thing, but there are differences.
He's calling them both groups, but for the record, FBA is a lineage. There is no organization or group associated. Gotta fact check it because Umar is just saying anything. Umar can call ADOS a group if he's referring to the actual organization.
So there we go. This going down the rabbit hole, right? This is where we talking about Pan-Africanism. That's what Umar is. He think that we are all black globally. I don't care if you're from Jamaica, Africa, wherever. You in UK, we Pan-African. Then you got the ADOS. That's the African descendants of slavery. All right. That's a whole nother group. The ADOS, ADOS, African descendants of slavery. Then you got FBA, foundational Black Americans. So I don't, see like a lot of segregation amongst ourselves. I don't know.
Sister Ebony, this is my concern. Too much division. Here's the thing. Like, what's the difference between FBA, foundational Black Americans, ancestors? That means you could trace your lineage back to a certain year. Don't remember, let us know, Sister Ebony. And now this descendants of Africa, what's the difference? What's the difference between FBA and what you say, ADOS? I'm not seeing too much of a difference.
There is. I'm sure y'all gonna let us know in the chat. They're gonna explain it here. Hit the like button. I don't know, like you say. I guess there is maybe a slight couple degrees of separation, but
organization. But FBA is not a group at all. It's a designation only. ADOS, however, is technically both. He's mixing them both up, and I know he understands the difference. So I'm not sure why he's doing that. He's calling them both groups, but for the record, FBA is a lineage. There is no organization or group associated. Gotta fact check it because Umar is just saying anything. Umar can call ADOS a group if he's referring to the actual organization. But FBA is not a group at all. It's a designation only. ADOS, however, is technically both. He's mixing them both up, and I know he understands the difference.
Oh, there you go. I mean, a lot.
So, ADOS, political organization with chapters and leaders. FBA is just lineage. That's our lineage. That's blood. Okay. That's a clear difference. But can the ADOS represent FBA? An FBA interest? God dang it.
Oh, here we go. I'm gonna drop the link for Sister Ebony. I'm sure Sister Ebony gonna come up and educate us. Shout out to Ebony. I'm gonna let this go.
So I'm not sure why he's doing that.
So ADOS,
which is a descendant of slavery.
No, they're first. FBA comes later.
Okay.
Okay, but they both exist. FBA is more popular, right?
Okay.
ADOS FBA. I don't have a problem with the American African people seeing the need to make it clear to other branches of the global African family that when you come here, you need to be clear that we built the house and rolled out the carpet for you. Be respectful in my home the same way you would want for me to be respectful in your home. So the concept of that American African identity, I have no issue with it.
Now, ADOS and FBA, neither are groups of Africans. So I don't know why Umar is still calling Americans Africans when it's been established that continental Africans are the real Africans. And for the most part, everybody everywhere else, they don't call themselves African unless they immigrated to a certain place from Africa. Yeah.
All right, so the lie here. I'll get you and Sister Ebony. I'm sure you got something to say. A lot of confusion, huh?
Well, there's not too much confusion to it because ADOS, that's like an organization. They had chapters, and I believe you had to even pay to become a member of it. But that is a dead brand. We're not rocking with that anymore. You know, we are American descendants of slaves, but we're not having any more language that's complicated. We are foundational Black Americans. We're not getting jumped in. There's no membership. It's your lineage. Okay. It's all based on your paperwork. So it's very cut and dry. If you are not a direct descent, or if you don't have direct descendants from, you know, this country, then you are not a foundational Black American. It's very cut and dry. It is a term that can never be remixed or co-opted, or people are trying to backdoor their way in and stuff. They were talking about like people from the U.S. Virgin Islands, not you, Man Evolve, but I'm saying some of the people from your islands were trying to claim that they are from, you know, they're the U.S. Virgin Islands, and so they are a part of the lineage, and that could be anything further from the truth. So we are defining who we are. It is being recognized on a national level at this point, on a political level. Even Trump was talking about it, you know, in one of his last speeches or whatever. And so that is the difference. It's not a membership. You can't join, you can't buy in, but you can support us. To all of our loved ones and friends from the diaspora, you can support us. But that is what foundational Black American is.
I like that. And you know, the term, you know, FBA is new to me, but it sits well in my spirit. I like it. It makes sense. You know, but I also believe, like you said, Sister Ebony, you know, this ADOS, all these other different terminologies are like internal backdoors, internal Trojan horses that we are doing to ourselves. So we got something that if you ask me, makes sense. FBA, foundational Black American, clear cut definition, done and done. But now, you know, we're going to throw all this other stuff in the mix and just muddy the waters. We can't do that to ourselves. White man going to do that enough. We can't do it to ourselves, Umar. Simmer down, brother.
Yeah, and it's really just all about defining who we are. You know, we were told that we were African Americans, and we were told that we were Negroes for you know, the first time. We are defining who we are. We are looking back into the history books and into our lineages, and we are defining who we are. That is the first step to gaining the freedom and gaining what we're trying to get from the American government, which is our reparations. This is the first step of taking a stand on who we are and defining who we are, because that actually brings power.
And I think Umar, he's a little bit cart before the horse, if you will, because like you're saying, I think if you live in this country and if you are FBA, you have to be FBA first. I think you have to identify there first. And then if you know, got some degree, if you feel some type of way about the whole Pan-African thing, I don't have an issue with it, but you can't lead with it. Especially for the people that do rock with us. Granted, we don't have an issue with those people. And like you said, whatever, you can be on board, you can help out from the outside. But the thing is, you got to know where you at first. And he's putting that first. And it's like, well, we got our own fight to take care of.
It annoys me that we are so uncomfortable looking out for our own interests. Did you guys not see, you know, those videos that Miss H just put on display of, you know, some of our brothers and sisters showing places where we were made into strange fruit? If you cannot identify with that trauma, that struggle, that unworldly torment, you're not FBA. And you know, that's fine. Like Miss Ebony D's, that's fine. Like, I'm proud of who I am, as everyone should be. At the very same time, there's pain in that pride. Don't be saying y'all want the pride, but y'all didn't take the pain. No, don't go that way.
Yeah, and you guys be careful with Umar and his new terms, because that might come with a membership, and he might be asking for more donations for y'all to join. So just steer clear. Foundational Black Americans, there is no fee or nothing. That is what we are defining as who we are. And just, you know, just kind of watch out for Umar, because I don't even think them school doors is open. I think that was all cat. So I don't know.
We gotta see. He ain't less. We gotta see. We ain't get an update. We waiting on the inspectors to give no
show. Yeah, and with the whole DAFFA, he's got his new lineage is going to be DAFFA, and it AKA stands for the fuck. Because what are you talking about? But here's the thing with Umar, the Pan-African thing, that was a one-sided thing. We were the ones who were sending monies from our churches and sending monies to build orphanages and doing all that. We were the one keeping the connection with Africa. We were the one, whenever the Africans and people from the diaspora came over, we were the ones showing them the way and showing them love, inviting them to our churches and into our culture, whether they wanted to or not. The offer was always extended. So we were the ones keeping up with the connection, and it was very one-sided. When all the things that were going on with our country, with civil rights and all that, they weren't really rocking with us and fighting for us. And when all the stuff was going on with Mandela and everything in South Africa, our foundational Black American artists were promoting concerts and saying, hey, we're not even going to perform if you guys, don't stop what's going on in Africa. So it's very one-sided thing. The thing about today is that we're realizing what everything is, and we're just like, you know what? We got to focus on ourselves, and we have to handle our business here, and everybody has to hold their own nuts, because for over 50, 60 years, we've been the one always doing everything. And that's just where we are with it. There is no Pan-Africanism without us, because it was always one-sided.
Listen, I know what his angle is. Umar, I don't know if he still does, but he did a lot of speeches and talking over in Africa. That's where he get his ego. For a while, he was doing it, man. He was over there. Umar trying to practice some type of polygamy. He trying to get some kind of, trade going on with Africa so he can go over there and get him 2, 3, 4 big booty Nigerian women's. That's his aim. I believe this is coup d'etat, coup d'etat madness he got going on.
And I find it kind of funny how at first he was like, this was going to be a foundational Black American school and all this stuff. And then he was taking all of the money. And then all of a sudden now he's like, we're only going to be teaching Pan-Africanism. And now if you're foundational Black American, you can't come to this school and all this. That was after all the donations. So that's kind of where you see where he's at with everything.
Has he said that? Or if you are FBA, you are not welcome to the school?
He said that he doesn't want to have FBAs at the school. Yeah. I think he even just said it right now, but yeah, you can look it up. But he said that that's not the kind of school that he wants to have. He has a Pan-African school.
After freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided.
Umar says he's an African freedman, so he's now starting DAFFA to shut down ADOS and FBA.
And we have rights as freedmen, so we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine.
So he's trying to start an organization like ADOS. And I guess since FBA is not an organization, he's looking to snatch some of the FBA over too to join his organization, DAFFA.
Descendants of African freedmen in America.
I like that. Do you think you're going to get pushback for even...
Umar is on a crazy train. All right, I hear him, but it's such a crazy train. All right, he rides so hard with this African stuff. I get it. But like he say, he been to the continent and he's in bed with some of them people. Who knows? Maybe some of the presidents of some of these countries and whatnot. Who knows who's funding him, to speak like this, just like the small hats. They find people to speak for them and they put money in your bank account. So Umar got different agendas.
Thank you. Just how, who was that? They say entertainers can't be leaders. Same here. It was that Malcolm X, huh? Yeah, maybe that's why he don't like that, because I don't think Malcolm X was into Pan-Africanism. But yeah, stop that. Stop. You can't be a leader. I said that he got some connection over there. Something. He got some folks that are influencing him. That's what I'm getting. Why do I feel that way? Why do I think that? Because of the damn division. FBA now gotta be, those of freedmen. And how do you check that? We know how we check to verify for FBA. That makes sense. I like it. It's simple. It makes sense. Now, why add these other things just to take America? That's why Ebony did. I just want America out.
Right.
So it could be foundational Black Africans.
And that's why I was saying it's a crazy train, because I said, I hear what he's saying. All right, we don't want to be America. Oh, this is white man stuff, but we can't even go down that rabbit hole. Go find, and then I get it. We got the scholars out there. Y'all know the names of all this stuff. This was named this before that, and Jesus is Yahshua, and we can go down all the rabbit holes. Well, let's pull out the original everything so we can know, whatever America was.
Yeah, and to his point, we are the descendants of freedmen and everything, but he's just trying to tie the African thing into it, and that's just not the type of time that we're on now. Right now, we're in a new era, and we're focused on us and the things that we're trying to do in this country. We can get back to Pan-African if it's going to be two-sided later on down the road, but right now we're just focusing on us, and that's just kind of where we are.
Amen.
That's it. So. And I know a lot of this stuff boils down to just personal vendettas and beefs and stuff. So I know, he don't get along with the Tariq Nasheeds and people like that. And there's a lot of real direct beef. So if you rock with that, I'm an opposing force. So a lot of this boils down to that. It's not for the greater interest. It's not for the greater good of everybody. It's just an infighting. So
see that a weenie measuring contest. Thank you. That's what I'm getting. Pride and ego. Anytime you insert toxic pride and ego into any situation, it makes it worse. There's no way around it. Shout out to my father-in-law told me that. Anytime, there's zero exceptions. You interject pride and ego, the situation get worse because folks start thinking with their emotions, and is this over?
Yeah, and it just all goes down to what you are comfortable with. If you like the term foundational Black American and it resonates with you and your lineage and everything, then rock with it. If you like American descendants of slaves, that's your thing. But what it's going to boil down to is that paperwork. And when that time comes, you need to have everything in order. Call yourselves whatever you want, but lineage is a lineage and it cannot be denied.
Does Ron come through with the 50 ball? Appreciate you. Says, I'm a proud Haitian. God bless Haiti. Appreciate you. Says, that lives in the United States and love me some Mr. Worker Gavin X. Appreciate you. No Diddy. I would lend you guys a hand to battle if it come down to it. Thank you and your ancestors for making it possible for me to be here and get this bread. See, that's what I'm talking about. Blessings to your brother. See that? That's what I'm talking about. Say it with your mouths, with your chest. Blessings, brother. God bless Haiti.
Yeah, and this is what we're looking for from people from the diaspora, is just a little support. And when we talk about everything and talk about our history and everything, this is what we're looking for. Shout out to him.
And like you say, shout out to all the brothers and sisters abroad that really rock with us, and understand the struggle, and don't come to America and just say, oh, Black folks are lazy or this or that. It's much more deeply rooted than we all understand, and we learning together. A lot of this stuff, you got, traumatized people that was raised by traumatized people, and there was never any therapy along the way. And people say, oh, well, how can that affect you today? Because I was raised by a person that was raised by a person that was raised by a person, and the trauma just keep getting passed down. So it's not victim Olympics, but it is a fact, and we got to break it. Hence why what we do, we are doing the work.
Amen. It's that passed down trauma, and even scientists will acknowledge that trauma is passed down via DNA. It's not a myth, it's a science. Some of those feelings that you feel when you see them cotton fields and those old slave quarters, that's in your DNA. You are having a biological effect to the visuals and the words, especially if you can go out there and touch it and smell it. It is what it is.
Right. And to those effects too, Mr. Walker, the food that we were given during slavery, that salt pork and cornmeal and sometimes molasses, we ate that for generations and generations. And that biologically changed our DNA because that was not anything of substance or nutrition. And so that's how we got all the hypertension and, high blood pressure, like all these different things that all came from the diet. And that's why we need to reverse it by eating right now and to just try to get back on track. But all that stuff was it was all for biology and to alter our DNA, and it did.
Rights as freedmen, so we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine.
So he's trying to start an organization like ADOS. And I guess since FBA is not an organization, he's looking to snatch some of the FBA over too to join his organization, DAFFA.
Descendants of African freedmen in America.
I like that. Do you think you're gonna get pushback for even launching that?
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
Okay, and Umar says he's Debo. He can steal from both FBA and ADOS and make these Americans classify as African because he's quote stronger than both of them. You heard that? Umar says he's stronger than all of them. Listen, I already gave my advice to Umar before. Umar should not be spending his time on podcasts, radio shows, or traveling. His commentary gotta fall to the back, and he should be devoting 100% of his time to opening up that school. Now, he did say recently that the school was done, but that's not going to be official until there's paperwork. He's going to have to get that certificate of occupancy. And from my understanding, there's not an application yet. So the only way to get out of the school always being brought up when he's trying to make a point or when he's talking about creating another institution, he's got to deliver on the school first. But speaking of the school, I don't think it's going to matter much for Black Americans because he already said he specifically didn't want FBA and ADOS there, which is crazy because Black Americans donated the most. But I digress. Umar went on to argue about how...
So there you go. It's more of a conversion or a trying to convert you over. So he wants you to say it out your mouth. It's not the fact you can be foundationally Black, but you must identify as whatever the hell he tell you. So don't come in here saying you are FBA, you brainwashing my school and you toxic. You can't bring that ideology in here. That's what he's trying. So you got to wipe that out and what do you say, DAFA or whatever?
Yeah, DAFA, Descendants of Freed Men or some bull jive.
I think it's Freedman African or something. Whatever it is, it's African at the end.
Yeah, Descendants of Freed Africans. Descendants, something like that. Freedmen, this is goofy. But like I'm now the hope that I had for Umar is gone. What's wrong with being FBA? I don't find FBA to be divisive. We are too inclusive to a fault. This is being too inclusive to a fault. Nothing wrong with saying we are the descendants. FBA, we are foundational Black Americans. This is why. If you don't fit this, you are not a part of this. That's not a problem. Miss X told a story not too long ago about being in the pool league. And still to this day, they ain't got a problem saying you ain't, this culture, you ain't Slavic, you ain't Polish, you can't come into this club. All right. Or if you do, you need written permission. All right. What's wrong with us doing the same thing? Y'all ninjas ain't supposed to be so high and mighty. That's the problem. Yes, we allowed to have some pride, Dr. Umar.
Right. And with Dr. Umar, he's like any other person that comes over, when they have a base, his fan base was us. It was foundational Black Americans. And whenever he was trying to raise money for that school, he was promoting it for that reason and that reason, only. So how come you didn't get all your Pan-African people from Africa and the diaspora and all that to fund this school? No, you got the money from us. And then once you got the money and didn't produce, now all of a sudden you want to cut us out. That is very tether-like behavior. And this is the type of stuff that we don't rock with.
That part.
Appreciate your Project Leroy. Always coming through, brother. Says, can we please send this 3-time grifter back to Cuba?
I don't know about Cuba, but we're going to put him in the pit.
Bye, Dr. Umar.
Madness. Fuck is you talking about?
This is Sparta!
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to hide. You gotta count your blessings. You're sitting at the table. You hear me? Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
I think Dr. Umar's heart is in the right place, but that don't get you too far. His heart in the right place, but he shouldn't have nothing to do with the finances, the money, none of that. And that's where I think it's going wrong. And but his reputation already jaded and his ego is making it worse. If he would just be a little humble, he's like, oh, it don't matter about those other groups. I'm more powerful than them anyway. That's why you get no sympathy nor empathy, Umar.
Right. And it's just about the betterment of the group. Like there's no leader. The code is the leader. So there's no, all this infighting stuff. This is not what it's about. It's about the betterment for our people. And that's just what it is. So all that ego stuff, he can put that on that one way Tom Joyner cruise back to Cuba. He's going to be on the next thing smoking if he doesn't get his act together.
The cruise. Appreciate you, brother. Divine Photos, one of the best infield journalists in the game. Says Umar is an opportunist. Whenever he sees something trending, he tries to take advantage of it. Scamming at its finest. Shout out to all of the opportunists out here. Shout out to Anton.
Listen, Umar let y'all know at every chance he get that he is a descendant of Frederick Douglass. All right, he tying his roots back. Umar, like my folks go back. What y'all talking about? 1700s.
Yeah, but it's all cap though, because even his family and Frederick Douglass's family came out and said that was all cap. So when your own people, when your own family, your own dad came out and just called you a fraud. So, what do you have to say after that? It's all lies, Umar.